It's Wednesday, and this time next week we will be in Austria. How crazy is that? It's a work day, as you can see, but I also have my dirt bike in the back. So when I'm done work today, I'm pretty close by some trails, and I'm going to head over and do one last testing on the suspension, see how that works. I want to try stiffening it up a little bit to see what impact that has for the prologue racing. It'll be probably my last chance to test it. I might be able to get it this weekend. But today's episode is going to be about, I guess, a little bit about that, but also about packing. So when I get home, I'm actually going to start packing things up. I'm going to pack up all the gear we need. I'm going to pack up my suspension. Part of what I'm doing right now before I head to work is I'm heading over to Cabela's because I need to exchange a gun case I got to ship my suspension. As I said, I wasn't planning on taking over the rear shock as well, but after talking to Joe Skid at SSS, it seems quite clear to me that if I'm going to do it right, bring the whole thing over. And interestingly, I just got off the phone with Danielle from RideX Power. They're the company that we're renting bikes from, and I just called him via WhatsApp. Actually, I texted him and then he called me back by WhatsApp, and we chatted a little bit about bike setup, and he said no problem, he can definitely get the bike tuned up the way I want. So for the prologue, the black ladder, I'm going to be using a 14 tooth sprocket, and to save some time, he's going to put that on the bike before we even get there. And I also mentioned to him I'm going to be bringing over my suspension for him to swap out, which is a pretty easy job. The only thing about the ECs, the Gas and the Huskies, unlike the KTM XCW, is it uses a linkage, which is a great system and often preferred by most people. But the XCW PDS system on the KTMs is a lot easier to swap out, like just almost immediate. It just kind of like comes out, just drops right out. The linkage is a bit more involved, but Dimitri says he's got a good technique for that, so I'm gonna have him come over and do that. Once we've got all that removed, get it all put up in the gun case. I think it's better I get a bigger one anyway, just because it'll allow me to bring over a few more parts or delicate things in the luggage anyway, since I'm going to be paying for that luggage anyhow. So I think that'll work out well. I've got a really nice haul bag that Gas Canada sent me to take over. We got a nice gas bag, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, so let's get into the episode, go through some of the packing, maybe a little bit of riding today with Dave, and yeah, it should be a fun little episode. So here's the gun case I got. This is a Pellicase Vault 770, which is a great case, but it's just not big enough for the rear suspension as well. So let's go get my Ricky Bobby socks on. If you ain't first, you're last. If you post the crashes, they might not let me do Erzberg.
No, I'll let you.
They might be saying, sorry, we've been watching your videos, you're not ready for this, yeah? It's like a mini version of Carl's dinner. More like Carl's amuse-bouche. Suspension tuning day. Dave's gonna take it out and tell me if it's just right. We're looking for that Goldilocks.
Yeah. A+ rating.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
D- on the tires though.
No promises.
Look at these things. They're like rounded.
Is that the gummy? Is that an old gummy?
That's like my old JX8 from the beginning of the season.
Without giving you a kickback.
Yeah.
It's very smooth. It gives you a feeling of you're almost stuck to the ground.
Yeah, I find and it stays like that whether you're going slow or fast. It always feels that way, so which is quite nice. Even though it feels soft like in slow stuff,
yeah,
when you're going fast it still feels soft.
Yeah, and it doesn't like you said, you have a sense of control.
Yeah.
I'm leaking. It gives you a sense of control when you're riding.
There you have it, Rusty Sprocket endorsement of the Explorer Pro.
Yeah, it's like a Michelin star rated, but for dirt bikes. Thanks, Joe Skid.
Never mind, it works.
Approved.
Packing up all my stuff here, and what I did is I do this when I'm getting ready for big trips is I lay it out and I basically start from feet to head, and then that way hopefully I don't miss the things that I'm trying to pack. So got my Crocs, what I'll need those for, but probably need them for something. Boots, just bringing one set, 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of pants. Thanks FXR for sponsoring us. Sent us some great kits. This is probably what we're gonna be wearing on race day. We've got a matching set for all of us. And then this one here, I got an extra gas jersey up here. I think 2 pairs of pants will be enough. First day of prologue, second day of prologue. 1, 2, got some gas mechanic shirts and t-shirts. Thank you Gas Canada for sending that in the bag. A few other things. Got my Leat 3DF Air Light. I love this this pack here. I was using the Alpine Stars Bionic, and I really like that one. I still wear it, but this one I save just 'cause it keeps a bit fresher, and save it for races and bigger events. And then my everyday riding, I use my older one. I also use these older boots here, my my older Garnets, but these are my newer ones. And what else I got? Replacement lens for my goggles. I got a couple sets of goggles here somewhere. And I've got tearaways. I'm using laminates for that. So I've got one set of 100% and another set of Fox Airs. And I'll be using laminates for both. 3 sets of gloves, a buff, my Aero helmet, 2 Gascat hats, some bite sheath valve extra ones. This I've got the energy gels. I think I'm going to pick up a few more of those. Little multi-tool. I don't know if I'll bring that with me or not, but it's just nice to have. A beanie. Erzberg sent a message saying that it's going to be cold. So I've got that. I've got some Skin Glide that you can throw in between your butt cheeks to make sure you don't get chafed. Some Big Iron Moto stickers that I'll throw on. Nice gas jacket that if it gets cooler, and be able to wear that. Again, thanks Gas Canada for sending me that. I sprayed it all with that Hydroforce stuff. I don't know if you saw my story, but FXR makes a waterproof repellent, and I sprayed that all over, hoping that keep me dry if it rains. Some athletic tights, wear underneath my knee braces, Astra carbon knee braces, and a couple pairs of socks. Am I forgetting stuff? Yeah, so that's the basics. I'm gonna start packing that up in here. And then we'll get into some of the other stuff. We'll see how this all fits. One thing I'm going to do is put these Apple AirTags in all my bags in case luggage gets delayed or something like that. At least I know where it is. And hopefully it doesn't get stolen or anything like that. Choose an emoji. Oh, okay, let's do Austria. Sweet. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna put it in this tag here. There we go. I just gotta find a good spot to zip tie this in. There we go. On the list is getting my suspension. I'll be taking off my suspension I've been testing since I picked it up at Joe's at SSS on Saturday? No, Thursday? Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Picked it up on Saturday in the last video you saw there. So I've been testing it all week. I tested at the RJ's XC. You'll see in the last vlog that I did. And man, this stuff is awesome. This Explorer Pro suspension is bang on. It's just it's such a game changer. It was really good before with the stuff Joe does. It always is great, but this is next level. And I really think that this could be the small edge I need to qualify over there. I mean, when you look at the times, they're so close in what people are pulling in to qualify for Erzberg, that even just a few seconds here and there can really make all the difference. And if it means I can go just a little bit faster, that very well could be what allows me to qualify. So I'm gonna get the suspension off, and I'm gonna ship that up. I got it a gun case. I initially got a gun case that would fit the front fine, but then after speaking to Joe, I quickly came to realize that if I'm going to do it right and get the front and rear. So I actually have to take the front off of this bike, which is the Explorer Pro, and also take the rear off of my Gas EX300, because the gas that I'm renting over there is a linkage bike and the KTMs are PDS. So it's a bit of a pain in the butt because the PDS shock is so much easier to remove. But I've got the other one tuned up by Joe as well from previous occasions. So I'm going to bring the rear for that and this front. So, there we go. Just as I'm doing this, one of the big mistakes that newer riders make is tightening these right up. And that is a really bad thing. That doesn't, your suspension actually won't work properly. So make sure, and this is a rule to follow really with any bolts on your bike, but make sure that you're following the proper torque specs. Like, for example, I think this one is 26, I believe. And these are like something like 10.8, so 11 pounds. And you want to be able to have your axle freely moving when it needs to on the suspension. Otherwise, your suspension isn't going to do things properly. So don't be lazy and look to your manual whenever you're torquing things and get the right specs. Every bolt is engineered in a very particular way. It also will prevent you from stripping bolts and creating very expensive repairs later on. And that's the same with your triple clamps as well. That's another thing, that you can't just torque these things. email's coming in, 11:29 this morning. It's Thursday, June 9th. And I guess this is the final email. Start number 723. And giving me some direction on what I need to know. Riders on Toronto's reveal in the paddock. Oh, that's good. So we get to go in Wednesday. And okay. Avoid long ways, QR code. Ride on motorcycles on the connecting roads between Paddock and Erzberg Arena is only allowed for motorcycles with a Red Bull Erzberg Rodeo 2022 starting number and companion bikes with official plates. So that's really cool. I get to ride on the connecting roads between the Paddock and the rodeo arena. It's strictly prohibited to enter the roads for any way of the day. Registration on site. I got to register Wednesday, 4 to 8. Documents needed. I need to bring my photo ID, €5 or transponder. That reminds me, I need to go pick up some euro that I ordered for the trip. I got some from the bank. Technical inspection. All right, so this is all the stuff I need to know. New start times attached. I opened that up already. Okay, so let's see some of the times here. So this looks like this gives us a sense of everything that's going on. I'll go slow here. That's a location over there. I don't think that's important for our purposes here. So June 16th is when it all kind of starts. And then this is Friday is the first day of the prologue. So I was originally going to sign up for the Metis rocket ride, but I ended up backing out of that. I just thought it's too much of a risk to hurt myself or the bike. And so that leaves me just with the prologue, the Black Ladder prologue stuff. So the first riders meeting is at 10 p.m. and then heat 1 from 9 a.m. going down, and it shows all the times here of when this is supposed to take place. Oh wait, and here's all the new, what looks like the times over here of the prologue. So that means I'm 7:22, is that what it said? 7:23, okay. So 7:23, which means I'm going to be starting my first qualifying at 2:45, which means it's going to be rutted out like crazy. But it looks like there's about 1,200 people vying for the 500 to qualify. All right. Not bad. It's all falling into place. Okay, so that was a quick morning run. I am now, well, it's Friday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is when we fly out. It's really close. And just doing some cardio at this point because I'm trying to take it easy, not injure myself. It's a slim possibility I might go out Sunday, but probably not. I'm just trying to make sure that my fitness is pretty good. And you know, just on that topic, I guess I'll talk a little bit about training. I'll probably talk about it more later, but setting the goal for Erzberg so far out was a really good thing fitness-wise. From an early stage, hang on a second. Yeah, so from an early stage, you know, I knew that I'd have to be in really good shape to be able to do this race, and so I've been training essentially since November. Despite the pandemic, I was fortunate enough to have some gym equipment at home, and I was able to get out and get some runs and bikes in. Oh my god, sorry. And yeah, so I was able to keep that heart rate up, make sure my cardio is okay. So when riding season came around, I was feeling pretty good, and I could feel it out there on the track. So yeah, just it's an interesting day today because part of the reason I went for a run is I have a judicial interview in 2 hours. and I find that when I exercise I can get my mind working a little bit better. And after that I'm going to receive a judgment on a case that we just did up in Barrie, and then essentially I'm off for a week from work. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's taken a long time to get here, and there was a lot of times with my schedule I wasn't entirely sure, because initially it was a jury trial, and it ended up being a judge alone trial, and jury trials are very unpredictable. So I was a little nervous that my flight, I wouldn't make my flight. That's happened before on family vacation. But anyway, I feel good now, and I'm gonna go weigh myself and see where my final numbers are at. I started off in December at about 177 peak Christmas, peak turkey time, and now I'm hovering around 160, and I can really feel it. But one thing I've realized with working out, I've never been on a regime, maybe since I was in high school or something like that, but with working out, it's just the daily activity and just trying to push yourself even 1 second faster every day. Just showing up and putting in 1 second faster every day. You probably put in more, but if you just aim for that goal that every day is 1 second better than the last, you're going to do very well in your training. For that matter, I mean, that metaphor carries over a lot of things in life, but you know, I'm always trying to compete against myself. And when I'm going to Erzberg, for me, it's about the goals I've set for myself. I don't for a moment expect to go over there and beat top guys. I'm very much an amateur, and for me this is about being the best person I can be in racing, not about the next guy. And I carry that mentality over to all my racing, and if you're always beating yourself, eventually you're going to be pretty darn good.